What's happening, people? I'm back. It's been a minute. I've been away, I've been busy, but I'm back with no wins in four. I mean, could it get any worse? Like, could it literally be any worse? But anyway, hit that like button. We're literally fresh out of the blocks. I haven't done a stream in so long. So it's nice to be back, man. I've got the people them joining, more specifically my Chelsea people them. So hopefully they can join. We could chat about the game. How's everyone doing, man? How's everyone doing? What are we saying? If you're a Chelsea fan in here for a rival, let me know, man. It's so stressful right now. It's stressful. Like it's not good in it. Like, like, can people let me know? Yeah, like, what is going on in my football club? Like, why are we not winning games? And yes, by the way, I'm very happy. Yeah, that Arsenal bottling it is just made my day. Like, before Arsenal bottled it, I was like this. And now I'm like, yo, like, it's calm because at the end of the day, I'm gonna make it two conversations in one. I said to people that were Arsenal fans, you man know of, yeah. Oh, 100%. You saw the title, you're seeing the title, you saw the thumbnail, bro. That's 100%. Like, oh, our last two games have not been because of Maresca per se. It's been because of the finishing. But when you say this, nobody listens. But yeah, love for the comment, taking me off a tangent of what I was actually trying to say. But big up yourself, Daniel. 100%. The thing is, you man were here when I was speaking to you after the Fulham game, and that was a good video, right? You guys enjoyed that, and we spoke about the same problems. Oh my day, same person last season are causing us problems. 100%. 100%. You know what it is? You lot are actually like, you make me sane. Like, you make me realize that, like, I'm not going crazy. Does that make sense? Big up Couch in the building every single time. My brother from the US. Do you know what I'm saying?
Not
I was just
even. I'm north of that, man. I'm the brain of the
in
US, man.
Canada.
Yeah, bruh.
Oh
Yeah,
my
bruh.
days. The way you just said, yeah,
Toronto.
bro. I
Yeah,
should have
we
clocked it.
invented that. We invented that slang. Don't worry about that.
I My guy, man, what are you sending me? Literally, yeah, before you jump in yet,
Yeah.
I was literally saying that, like, you know, the ones where in our chat, sometimes if the chat didn't exist, you might be thinking certain things, but if someone says it and you're like, oh, like, it makes you realize that, like, we can all see the problems. Like, someone said it perfectly. Fast Thought TV, right? Couch here. He was like, Jackson out, not Maresca. And his point basically is our finishing is the reason why we didn't win our last three games. And it's absolutely spot on.
Yeah, I mean, it's a
Yeah,
combination of things for me. I don't think Jackson was great, and hasn't been for a few games now, but like we're not creating enough A1 chances to justify being so attack minded the entire game. That's kind of what the problem is for me. Maresca is not recognizing that we can't be on attack mode all game long and not look to like secure the win. For me, I'm looking at it like this: you're up 1-0 with 72 minutes played, and you're still not probing. You're still not doing enough to like get that the match killer, the goal to kill the match. Then you have to start looking at a way to like solidify what you're doing and like preserve the win. And I don't think we're doing that well enough last little while. It just seems like
that's a good point. But
you
what I
know,
would say is, you did say, which I slightly disagree with, and I think someone else said it here. We need to create more A1 chances. I do think we created at least. Now, when we say A1 chances, it doesn't need to be subjective what A1 means. You basically mean clear-cut chances where you should be at least hitting the target, potentially a certain amount of percentage scoring a goal. I think we created at least, from what I watched, 3-4 chances in that first half where the game should
well,
have been done.
I mean,
The
I
game
can
should
only
have been done.
yeah,
I don't
in the
really.
first half.
Yes, in the first half.
Yeah, but in the second half, we didn't really create much. And
Yeah, I know, but like, let's just, but like, look, what I'm trying to say is not every single half. Let's have a dialogue here. Not every
okay,
single half is going to be symmetrical. So, like,
no
if you
doubt,
have
no
an
doubt.
opportunity, Yes, if you have an opportunity in the first half to be 3-4 clear, that determines the rest of the game. So yes, in the second half, you could say, yeah, we didn't create enough, but then certain game plans might be the case where you need to take your chances and then ride it out a bit. With Chelsea,
No, yeah,
like
I agree. So you're basically saying we're not clinical enough in the
we're
moments that
not
we need to
clinical
be.
enough, regardless if it was first, second half, 10th minute, 90th minute.
Mm,
No one really cares in general when goals are scored, is that you just score. So, for
mm,
example, if Chelsea had a knack this season of scoring after the 80th minute, but we were sitting third, second in the league, it wouldn't be an issue because you see consistent behavioural play from the team where we're getting to last minutes of the game, our defense is solid, and we're getting that winner. Whereas now, what you just said, which is true, is we're fronting games, always in the balance, and we keep going for the attack. There's not much stability in midfield. There's not really much subs to bring on for Caicedo or Enzo. There's not much defensive stability in general anyway, because the quality isn't there. And then we're leaving ourselves short. We can see the goal. Like, this reminds you of last season, Couch.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Isn't it?
100%, 100%. Yeah, no, I don't know if we created enough chances to justify being that open in the second half, is what I'm saying. Granted, first half, I agree. We should have had at least 2, 3 goals. There was a good opportunities there to score. We took one. Second half, I don't think we created enough to justify being that open. And if we're not going to use the bench, here's the other thing too. Like the game plan was working for large spells, but it's clear to me the guys got tired. Random just got tired. You know, they weren't able to give us the same energy. You know, pressing the ball, same energy, winning the ball back. And in those instances, you have to look to the bench, man. This guy is just allergic to the bench, and it's starting to
He
get to a
is.
point where like we're relying on like the Cole Palmers, the Jacksons, and the Caicedos, all these guys to deliver the same performance that they did in the first half when they're clearly just tired. And for me, the strength of this team is always going to be in attack. It's always going to be what we have in attacking areas, and we're just not using the weapons that we have available enough to see out the win. Like the goal that we conceded, where
Why is it like, okay, cool. Let's dissect that.
Mm,
So, a lazy rival response would be, your team's under pressure. They're bottling it. Their man doesn't know what he's doing. I told you so. That's lazy. We're going to go into the reasons why. Is it he doesn't trust the squad? That's what I think. I
it's
think
possible.
it's been 19, 20 games. He's seen certain players in training. I'm going to name them for you to make it more clear what I'm saying, right?
Hmm.
Vegas, Hughes, Noni at times. Who else am I thinking of?
In Kunku,
Disassi, Nkuku. That's already 4 or 5. Kieran Dewsbury Hall, which is an obvious one. Yeah? That's at
yeah,
least 6 players on your
yeah,
bench,
but here's
right?
the problem with that though. You can't
Mm.
change the squad, right? So you can't change the squad. You have to be able to use players that we have available to us. Because the problem you're going to run into now, you're running these guys into the ground. Over the Christmas period, we use less of the squad than I thought we were going to use, and now the guys look tired. Like the guys that he's repeatedly going back to just look tired. So for me, it's about trusting the squad that you have. Number one, just giving them the opportunities to
Mm.
either succeed or fail, and giving the players that you prefer a chance to just catch their breath. 90 minutes here, like it's killing. Like Cole Palmer was dead today. He was dead in the second half. It was a reason
True.
why we conceded that goal. Like he was just not good in. He was not good. He just didn't have the physicality to ward off the defender and gave the ball away. So that was the problem for me. Like you have to rotate the squad, even if it means that you're not getting the same quality. You have to get fresh legs onto the pitch just to change up the energy.
Yeah, that's the thing that confuses me is like the argument I gave would be fair if he was bringing on other subs, but he's not doing both. So he's not trusting the squad, and then he's also he's doubling down because he's not even bringing on players to rest the first team, the players he
Exactly.
does like. Because it's not
Exactly.
making sense. And someone said to put Matt's comment up for us to have a little respite there. To me, catch together our thoughts a bit. Matt says here, big up Matt. In preseason, we tried to control games. We couldn't. We turned to a high scoring and high conceding team, and we got injuries. Now we need control, and we don't have the players. Science needed. 100%. And you know what someone said the other day? I don't know who said it, but they said, there's no such thing, as not spending more money. That in
What? What?
that in
What does that even
football,
mean? What does that
no,
even
Cap.
mean?
What they mean is this is what they mean, right? The lazy argument of, oh, you spent $1 billion. This is it. That doesn't mean you can't spend more money, you fools. We need to spend more money. Like we need at least, I can name you, right? In order for us to win the league next season, I can tell you we need at least 4 starters. At least.
Yeah, that's if you don't consider that we're gonna get internal growth from the players we already have.
No. I'm saying, like, I can already name you some. Fofana, bye.
Yeah, Fofana's
Jackson, love. On the bench, G. Sanchez, love. See you later. That's already 3, by the way. And then if you want to get cheeky, Couch, maybe a winger. If you really want to get pedantic, if you really want to get specific and look at NUMBERS and look at the numbers they're putting up here, then why wouldn't I say winger?
No, I hear you. I'm not mad at what you're saying. I'm just thinking that there's going to be internal growth with the squad, and I also think that well, the internal growth one thing, but I just don't know if it's going to take that much to win the league. I don't think that we have to go crazy like that to get to the point where we can actually even challenge for the league. Because I'm a firm believer that we're still there. You know what I mean? We're still thereabouts. We're just a couple results here and there away from being there. Okay, well that remains to be seen. I think that teams are going to slip up just as we have. And it's just whether or not you're in position to take advantage of that, right? Because I can't like Arsenal drop points today. I can see Liverpool dropping points tomorrow. So when you look at it like that, there's not obviously Liverpool looks like the team it's theirs to lose at this point in time, but they haven't gone through a rough patch, and I still expect them to do that. So we'll have to wait and see.
I agree with you and Matt here. Don't interrupt you, bro. I agree with you, Matt. Like you agree that like the race is very much Liverpool's to lose, which you could say is not in our hands, which you therefore can say is over. But it's not over, just over. So I guess there's a bit of hopium there. You could argue, like Matt said here, that second place is wide open. That I would agree with. And like I said weeks ago, don't be surprised if Man City get second. People looked at me like I was mad. Anyway, and yes, we can come back in the league, but I'm so sorry. The same praise I had when we won 5 games in a row. If you don't win in 4, like that's a lot of games. That's more than enough. That's more than enough evidence to say to me, oh yeah, we don't have consistency in us. Because yes, you can win 5, but in the next 4, you won't win a game.
Yeah, you're right.
That's too to and fro. That's too extreme. Like if it was like you win 4, you didn't draw 2, you lose 1 and win 2, cool. You don't win 5 and then not winning 4.
Yeah, you're not wrong. It's definitely
this is a damning indictment because now, let me tell you this, to make you agree with me. Now every single game you're nervous.
Not me.
Maybe not you because you're very critical with it. I get it, but a lot of people now, a lot of people 4 weeks ago, if you said you were playing the Brooklyn at home, they'd be like, yeah, calm, we enjoy it. Now you go, who we got next? Oh, Wolves at home. Oh, damn. Okay. Now we need to win this one. Then the game after that is like, cool, got on win now. All right, we've got West Ham, wherever it is. Damn,
there's always going to be, there's always going to be pressure, man. Regardless of how you look at it,
but like
every game has the same amount of pressure.
But it's different when you're always winning, because then if you slip up, you still have the bank of winning. But when you're losing or not winning, is a different kind of pressure.
It's the same pressure to me, because if we start winning. Go on. If we start winning, then the pressure is to continue to win because we want to try and win the title. If we lose, the pressure is to not drop out of the top 4. It's the same pressure to me. We're always going to have pressure on us. This is Chelsea. So I'm not necessarily concerned about that, really, to be honest with you. I'm more concerned about with finding a way to, come out of these bad periods and find the results again. And you're right. I don't want this to go on from like, 4 games, 5 games, 6 games. Like that's not that's not the mentality of a team that is meant to be contending. So you're right about that, but it's about how we recover from that now. Now, today's game to me is a perfect example of that. Like when you're not doing well in the final third, when you're not able to, put 3-4 past the team, that's when you have to at least shore it up in the midfield and play a little bit more resolutely defensively to make sure that you don't lose points
Yeah.
you're up, especially when you're up 1-0, right? So the problem I had with Maresca's tactics today has nothing to do with, okay, sure, you want to run these guys into the ground. Why are you not at least dropping the line back a bit to allow even Enzo to play in the pivot alongside of Caicedo, so we have a little bit more solidity in the middle?
Yeah.
Like the second half, Crystal Palace had nothing to lose at that point. They're like, whatever, we're just going to thrust bodies forward and we're going to see what happens. Put these guys under pressure. And what happens when we're put under pressure? You see
Always
what I'm saying?
concerned,
So
yeah.
all the time we concede, right? So I'm thinking, like, what is your plan B? Doesn't have to be bring on this player or bring on that player. Your plan B has to be what you're going to do tactically to shore up the defense and make us look a little bit more resolute. That's what I want to see tactically. And that's what my plan B is. I don't care about switching up players. I want to see a tactical switch that makes us more solid in the middle and harder to play through. Like this is Crystal Palace here. They didn't even have Wharton, who's one of the better players on the ball. You know what I mean? It's
Oh, it's
this is
so
the game where we should
jarring.
be. This is the game
I
that
don't
we
know
should
why
be
you're not. I don't know
controlling the
why you're not
game.
as annoyed as me. I don't know
What
why
makes
you're
you think
not.
I'm not annoyed? What makes you think I'm not
No, no, no.
annoyed?
But you said you're not worried about the next few games.
Yeah,
I
because
am.
it's the same pressure regardless of what the games are.
No,
It's
no,
the
no.
same
It's not.
pressure.
We haven't won in 4 games.
Yeah,
It's more
but when we
pressure.
won five straight, there was still pressure.
No, of course, but you've got the bank. It's different.
I don't know. I think the pressure is always to win, irrespective of what position you're
Yeah,
in.
no, no.
Yeah.
Literally, Matt, I'm the same as you. I was so angry, Couch, yeah? And then when Arsenal drew, I was doing a hate along. I was so gassed. I was like, yes. Because you know what it means, though, innit? It means that they can't laugh. You know what it is, Dennis, yeah? The
Mm.
Couch, yeah? It means that, like, they can't laugh at us because they also can't win the league.
You see, because
Because, like,
you guys are so focused on just
no, it's
having
not. It's not about like. It's
who
not about
cares
them.
about that, man?
No, no, no. It's
It's
not.
about us.
No, no, Kat. Get my point of view here. It's not caring about what they say about me. It's more the case of when I was saying when we were above them in terms of Chelsea's perspective, you man are underperforming.
Mm.
We're overperforming, and they're trying to
Hmm.
gaslight me and telling me, "Oh no, you're just good, this good. You need to go win the league." I've been proven right.
Hmm.
That's my point. So when they try, because you're not on these teams, right? So when they're trying to gaslight me, yeah, Couch going, "Oh no, you must win the league. You got this player." I was like, "Not really. Like we're doing good." But I even said it. I think I said it with you actually. I said if we want to go win the league, we have to beat or at least minimum. Yeah, I think it was like I said 18 points or something, or
Mm.
17 points. Like 7 games in December. We only got what? The last 4 games, we got like 2 points.
That's crazy.
12.
That's crazy, especially when you
And this
consider
one said
the
here,
level of the
right?
appointment.
Big up game for life. I've got a lot to say about today. Yeah, put it in the chat, man. Everyone in the chat, let us know. Let me put this down. Couch's things there. I think his name, his YouTube name, I'll add the description, but what I remember, here's
Mm.
his name here. So follow him up. Big up everyone in the chat as well. There's a random time in the UK to be going live, but why not?
Why not?
Because I'm going to be away again this week, so it's a bit peak. But I'm going to try and do a stream tomorrow to update. But yeah, man, good to chat with you lot. Let me know in the live chat what you think about me and Couch's opinions. Do you agree? Disagree? What's your thoughts on our next topic, which is Nicholas Jackson or
Mm.
striker
Mm.
or clinicalness, whatever you want to call it? Couch, what's happened in the last 4 games? Why all of a sudden are our players not performing?
Well, I think
Like,
it just comes down to what I was saying
what is it?
before,
Like,
bro.
what is it?
Yeah,
Huh?
it's fatigue, right? Like you're tired. Like you can't go through Christmas period playing the exact same lineup match after match after match and then expect a drop off. Like I was expecting. Remember Maresca all season? He's been talking about the Christmas period, and there's going to be games for everyone. He's not using the squad. Like never mind just like actual physical fatigue. It's jadedness seeing that many playing that many games. These are young players. You look at Cole Like I could look at Cole Palmer and see that he's not physically prepared to play the amount of matches, the amount of minutes that he's playing. He's rail thin. You know what I mean? And he needs to obviously put on some more physicality first of all, but like beyond that, he needs to have rest periods. This guy does not. There's not a moment that this guy finds himself on the bench. Not a moment. He's playing every minute of every game, irrespective of how he looks. And to me, you have to give every player a chance to catch their breath, catch their just find their game again. Of course, he scores today, no big deal there. But like as the match wears on, you can tell that he's fatigued and he's not coming off the pitch. I just don't understand what's going on here. Like it's not as if like his pressing and whatnot from the front is that is that good that we can't live without it. Because to be honest with you, even when he is tired, we're not seeing it at that level anyways. He's not pressing the same way as he was before. He's turning over the ball. So all of this stuff is what I think is the biggest problem right now. Maresca just has to utilize the squad right now. As I said earlier, we have an attacking team. If you're not using the strengths of this team to your advantage, then this is the results. You're going to get,
and that's
jaded,
why,
fatigued players, man.
and that's why at the beginning we spoke in reverse. That's why we kind of said like there must be a reason why he's not using the squad. And I just think it's down to he doesn't trust some of the players we've got in our squad. And yes, Couch makes a good rebuttal saying it's not his squad, so he's gonna have to make do with what he's got, especially when players are fatigued. And you need to make rotations. So what are you gonna do? Like play your first team every single week, 3 times a week? You're not gonna do that, are you? So he needs to figure it out. Like he needs to either get backed in January and we get a striker in. I think a striker would help because then you could rest Jackson, you can put him on the left, and you can move things around, putting Cuckoo in the 10. And then you definitely need to recall Santos, I think, to help with the midfield. And we've got Aaron coming back as well. I know he's going to be thrust in, but he can come into the team. So there are solutions to be had. Like we've got a big squad. Like I don't
Yeah,
think.
but like again, like everyone's talking about bring back Santos, Anselmino, and like, you know, all these guys have to get up to speed with what Maresca wants to do. They have to like it's not just like plug and play at this point. So this is the issue. That we have players right now that have been with us since the beginning of like July who aren't getting minutes. I mean, just not getting minutes for whatever reason. And you expect now for guys that have just come back playing a different style of football to come in and just plug in and play. It's not going to work like that, man. It's not going to work like that. If anyone comes back into the side, and I still think that like Anselmino today was a good example of what you're going to see. I think because I think Josh Eshapong is going to be getting a lot of minutes going forward.
Yeah, just look good. I can't lie.
Yeah, and I don't think it's like it's a foregone conclusion that Anselmino comes into the side and just displaces Josh Eshapong. I think that he's now going to be looked as cover because we don't have Fofana. Like that. That's how I see it because he still has to get up to speed. He has to adjust to being in a new environment, a new team, a new country, doesn't speak the language, all that stuff. And you don't just throw a young player, a 19-year-old player, that much to work with and expect him to just perform right from jump.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's going to take some time.
Yeah,
I think
100%.
I think Anselmino might have been signed or brought in just to help us with that Club World Cup at the end of the year because I feel like that's where he's going to be most, probably used most because he understands the teams over there a little bit more, that the Club Leon and all them kind of thing there. So yeah, it's just getting him up to speed with what we want to do so that when we get to the Club World Cup, he's up to speed and able to do things that we need him to do because I don't know if he jumps right into the squad, to be honest. I really don't. And the same thing with Santos. Santos is playing big minutes at Strasbourg right now. Big minutes. You're gonna pull him back now and give him what? Like garbage minutes with Maresca, how Maresca uses the rotation?
I just feel like they're not going. I hear what you're saying, but they're not going to buy midfield in January.
No, they're not.
So for me, the best option would be to bring back. I know I agree with what you're saying, but I feel like the negatives outweigh the positives here. It's like the negative would be if you don't bring him in, the midfield is sparse. The negative would be yes, he's not up to scratch of the system, and negative would be who says he's even good enough to even play in this. We don't even know. Like we don't know what he's going to be like, but we need him. So I'm willing, in my opinion, I'm willing to take the risk to see how it go, rather than going, oh, let's put our things together and hope Lavia gets fit again because Caicedo's gonna go down eventually because he's playing every single game, 90 minutes. So for me, that's very important. But I want to go back to the Jackson thing, man. It's just I wanted to see him be a bit more clinical. And the first half, I mean, Coach were talking about before, was where we kind of lost this game. I do agree. The second half of most games recently, we haven't done enough to sit back, absorb pressure, and get the result. But at the same time, to miss all those chances is so typical in Premier League football. When you miss loads of chances, you don't win games. Like, it's just usually what happens because every single team, barring a few anomalies like Southampton, are good enough to score against you more than once, or at least once. So if you don't finish with your chances, a team you don't deserve to lose against, for example, based on stats and players' quality and stuff, you can end up losing to. That's happened with Fulham.
Yeah.
Like it's just
Yeah,
it's not good
I
enough.
only remember one. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but he only really had one really good chance. Is when he cut inside on what's that defender there?
Lacroix.
Yeah, Lacroix, and then he hit it with his left,
No, no,
right?
no. He had another one in the second half where he
Oh no,
pulled it.
outside of his boot. Which one was that one?
No, no. He done outside the boot shot. He also
Yeah.
had one where in the second half where he got in his left foot and pulled it wide. There's three players around him, and he went with his left
Oh,
foot to the
okay.
far corner. Missed that
Okay.
one. He also missed the header from the corner where the ball got floated in the air. You know, you're like he missed a similar one against Everton as well, where he's against Pickford, he's right by the goal and he hit the post. He had a very similar thing this time when the ball comes floating over. Instead of taking his time and hitting it back towards goal or aiming towards the goal,
Wasn't that Achapong
he
though? I
goes
thought
and
that was
hits it right.
Achapong with the header. That was Achapong.
Was it Josh or was it?
Yeah, it was Josh Achapong. Yeah. I
Yeah,
don't
maybe
remember
it
how
was Josh.
I don't remember him having too many like clear like other than
Yeah,
the
but
one against
regardless, in my opinion, yeah,
yeah.
I wanted to see him be a bit more clinical this season. For the first 10 games, he proved everyone wrong because he was more clinical. West Ham, Aston Villa, to say a note of those games, right? Brentford, even the other day. But the Brentford game, even, he needed that goal because he hadn't scored for a while. We're now getting to the point now where he's January. He hasn't scored. He has like one goal in like 6 games. He's not clinical and not helping because in these situations, you need someone to be clinical to get your team out the rut. Even if what we've said in the stream is true, Maresca subs, the tiredness, even so, those players are there to help you in those specific games. So when he eventually works out Maresca, we would hope, because he's a good manager and we back him, we'd have 6, 7 more points. That's how I see it. So when things aren't going your way and then you're not picking up points and then the manager's not making subs and the player's not being clinical, that's how you get no wins in 4. That's how it happens. A
Yeah, of
compilation.
course.
Also, so
Yeah,
my thing
there's a
is
couple things.
like
There's a couple
he,
things there.
he's he's
Yeah, go
one
ahead.
of the segments. I agree. He's not the main issue, but he's still an issue. Like if you take away his finishing, but then the manager subs improve, then maybe we have an extra few points. Cool. But he's still a factor in why we could have put even more points.
Yeah,
So
no doubt.
and that for
No
me is
doubt.
more than just a factor, is an issue. Because I think a lot of you probably saw in the TL in our chat, the reason why people talk about striker a lot, yes, our defense is whack. I'll let you land as well catch after this year. I'm just trying to
No,
like give you
I don't.
those
I
two.
just. I'm not as disappointed as you are in Jackson. I just think he needs more opportunities. You know, like we're not creating enough clear cut opportunities for the guy. And like as you say that you wanted him to be more clinical this year. I think he has been. You know, he has been more clinical. He's missing very fewer opportunities this year than he did last year. I just think that like what we're talking about right now, we can hang it on Jackson, like missing a chance where he cuts inside of Lacroix and puts it just right outside of the boot. Um, how many of those opportunities fell to him today? I think our XG in the second half was like less than 0.4. You know, that's just not good enough. That's just not good enough. I'm sorry. You know, like we have to create more opportunities. And that to me just comes down to, you know, number one, I didn't think that Neto had a bad game today. I thought he was actually quite good. I
Yeah,
thought my
same.
man
I
of the
don't think
match
about
today,
game, yeah.
but again, he didn't create much. You know what I mean? He wasn't like the one time he got to the byline and cut it back, that was pretty decent. The one time that he got to the byline and then in the first half, and I think he crossed it with his right and it fell to Sancho, fell to Sancho in the back post. That was okay. But He's just got to be doing more. He's got to be doing more. I need him to be a goal threat as well. Get into areas where he can threaten their back line and score. And he's just not doing that. So
Man. I know,
I
I know,
just
I
think
know,
that
but I don't
I
know.
just think that yeah, I just think that we have to use our bench more. Like when you're getting to the 72nd minute and you're not seeing anything that is we haven't created anything in the second half. Why are you not looking to your bench at this point and saying, okay,
Yeah,
maybe we should bring on
this is
this
the
guy,
thing.
this
Yeah,
guy. It's the same
I
thing.
I agree. It's so tough because we go from winning so many games and now we're not winning, and we're having to be extra critical because you're not picking up points. So you have to be really specific because the houses just change so quickly. So I have to disagree a little bit. It's like I am disappointed because he's meant to be proving everyone wrong. That says that he's not clinical enough, he can't be trusted in big games, etc. And he goes and does what he does in the
But
last
you're
five.
talking, about clinical enough. Like he's scoring at a good,
No,
decent
I'm
rate this
sorry.
year.
No, couch, couch.
So so
I'm not
so
gonna lie
so
to
is
you.
so is Holland clinical enough?
No. Haaland isn't clinical enough, but they create more
Oh, okay.
chances.
Okay, so Holland's not clinical
So,
enough
so
either then. So who in world
I
football is
agree. No,
clinical
no, no,
then?
no. It's not. No, no. Hold on. Haaland is a high volume chance scorer. Like he'll
I
get a
agree.
few chance. But he's still an anomaly because even though he gets 5 chances, he scores one. Most strikers don't do that.
So
That's
what?
why he's
Who's
scoring
who's
so many
who's
goals.
more clinical then? Who do you need that's more clinical then?
I need no. Okay, cool. Let me make it very clear. I need someone who's not necessarily more clinical, but is more clutch. If that's, I don't know if
Yeah,
that's saying, I don't know if
that's the
that's, I
same
don't know if
thing.
that's the
That's
same.
the same thing, really.
I don't know if it's more. I think what I'm trying to say is like, I try to use diverting the word to make it seem in different context. I need a striker who's going to score goals where the team doesn't look like they can score goals.
It's hard
So,
to come by though.
huh?
Like I feel like right now at this point, I think Jackson should have did better maybe on one of those chances, but he's definitely improving. But like you see, what we're asking for is a striker to be very efficient, like almost like near
Exactly.
perfect efficiency in that sense. I don't think Jackson is a problem necessarily. I think I would like a different option to have. You
Mm.
know what I mean? So
Nah. The thing, I think we're saying the same thing. One sec, boys. If you're gonna move, oh yeah, couch. Love. When you're not talking, we're gonna mute you. Anyway, love. Boys, you know what I'm saying? I think you're misconstruing what I'm saying. I'm not saying he's dusted. I want to get rid of him, sell him now. He's crap. He's
no, I
disappointing
don't
me
think
too.
he's saying that at all.
Yeah, I'm not saying hey shit, nah, bro. Come on, man. Like they're just having this disagreement. I said it, it's a disagreement. But at the end of the day, boys, I have to keep it a buck. He's not performing good enough. I hear what you're saying about it's not his fault we don't create 5 chances a game. I understand that, but not every game state is going to allow you to create that many chances a game and score 1 out of 5 xG. I'm not expecting my striker every single game to get 3 chances, score one. Because if he's doing that, he's going to be an elite striker. And how many elite strikers have been in the Premier League? Not a lot. So my point is the chances he does get, in my opinion, he's doing well to get there, good hold up play. But I think we all know if you put a better quality striker in them positions, even today, they do better. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying he needs to massively improve and he's terrible and get out of my club. It's more like I don't really know if he's like this isn't his fault. I'm not blaming him for today. I'm just saying in general, the last few games, in my opinion, have been more on the players being tired, like Couch said, in clinical, than it's been Maresca subs. Even if
But
I'm
Chess,
annoyed at Maresca subs.
I do think today Jackson was off. I think he's been off form a little bit. You know what I mean? I do think
Mhm.
today, like at least, all right, maybe if he's not scoring, like the flick on the header, um, it wasn't the easiest chance, but yeah, I think he could be doing left-footed shot. Sometimes he needs to use his left as well. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Um, but that being said, I don't think we necessarily played that bad. The second half, okay, we dropped off, but I think we should have managed the game in the first half way better. And the thing
Mhm.
about the second half for me that man I like is I think the fact that a lot of plays were breaking down before we could get chances. We weren't making the right decision. Like so many times we were breaking on Palace and then we kind of like slowed it down. I'm thinking like one specific instance where Gusto had a chance to even slip in Jackson and he goes like wide, I guess, instead of, you know,
Yeah,
to
decision
Jackson.
making
That
for the
one
last minute
killed me
or
because he had Jackson through the
yeah,
middle. He had Jackson through
Yeah,
the middle,
he
Neto out
went to the
wide.
right. He was like,
yeah.
Anywhere you could have went there would have been right, and he just yeah, that was very
But
very
I feel
poor.
like he kind of. I don't want to be too harsh on Gusto, but
I
I
do.
think yeah,
huh?
I guess yeah.
No, no,
But I
no, no, no,
think
no, no. You could be harsh on Gusto.
yeah, all
You
right,
definitely
cool. I
can.
was trying to be nice, man. I
No,
think
you don't need to be nice.
sometimes like he's playing the safer option. He's not. His defending is kind of lackluster. Like, and I think people. I don't know if you guys had we were gonna be out and out title race contenders, then you could live in a kind of like delusional fantasy world. But I kind of expected this, and I don't think we played too bad today. But what I'm trying to say, there's certain situations that you could just see a young team. You know what I mean? Like even the way we handled that last play of the game. I think 2, 3 years down the line, we don't concede that goal stupidly. And I think like Reese and Lavia, and especially Fafana, but even though I think Achimpong did well
Yeah,
today,
no, fact.
they they make a like having those guys. Of course, we should be able to get the job
Oh,
done, but we're not there yet. But having those guys are like kind of critical. Like I think Caicedo, you could see now that it's starting to get to him. Like a couple of those passes he's making, you could just tell it's fatigue, bro. Reese James, I think he gives us
you
more.
know what,
Guy,
Javier? Javier, yeah. I'll tell you this, yeah. What you're saying is so spot on. When Chelsea have their best team, we're very, very good.
yeah,
But when you start scratching below the surface, Gusto and the man, they're good backups, but they're not hitting the same level. Gusto's dropped off. Cole, I don't think he's dropped off. I think he's at his level. I don't think he's a great centre back. I don't think he's a poor. I think he's a good centre back. I don't know if he's enough to bring us forward, but he's definitely on issue right now, right? Um, I just think the team. I just think the team's quality isn't that good. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like we've overrated some of our squad players.
yeah. Maybe we,
And,
but they're
and even
young though,
even
bro.
if you want to use Couch's critical analysis, excuse the pun, and say they're not being used, I'm sorry, Dewsbury Hall not good enough. I'd call it a spade a spade. Felix, benefit of the doubt because you haven't seen
He
much of
could
him.
have
But
maybe
even
been used today at least, bro.
yeah, he could have been
Felix
used at
and
least.
Kunku.
Like in Cuckoo doesn't fit in our system, so he might as well be redundant. Like doesn't really work. So like you've already got some players who we would call the squad depth, who we could even say right now either don't get chances because of the manager, or when they do get chances, don't really look that great. So it's like, have we overrated our squad a little bit? Maybe. Is the manager under pressure and not performing that well? Yes. Is his subs getting on our nerves? Yes. Can he be more defensive at times during games? Yes. Is the team not being clinical? Yes. Because we all agree on these things. Then why the hell has this happened in the last 4 games? I don't. Yes, fatigue, but like all of a sudden now, halfway through the season, and it's come through. It's
I
making me
think
think maybe it's deeper than that. Like maybe it is. Like why halfway? Like why specifically on halfway? Like literally halfway.
no,
Is that I don't know.
bro. I personally think first of all we're still forgetting these guys are super young. So this inconsistency is seeing. Granted, we could do stuff better, and it's just down. But I think this is what comes with young players. I don't even think the backline did too bad today. They definitely could have. I think Josh Colo was decent, but maybe you're right. I think people are putting these players on these highs pedestal when they haven't even reached their peak yet. You know what I mean? Um, I do think it's our midfield is struggling. We need fresh legs in there, and I think Couch mentioned it earlier. Like I feel like when Jackson and Palmer are not like banging scoring goals, we do need help from like our wingers and granted Sancho was good, but we need other players to start stepping up. You know what I mean? I feel like
Goals like this, not just be facilitators. They have to score.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
what I'm
like we
talking
need more
about.
guys that can actually score. And like when we talk about a young team, I agree with you, Shabby. This is a young team, but not only the team, but the manager too. This is a
Yeah,
young
yeah, yeah,
manager.
yeah.
Like so he needs to learn too, like how to like I've been banging on about this whole stream. Like he has to be able to see out matches and understand what it takes to win matches in the Premier League when you're not sorry, my kids is wilding right now.
Yeah, I understand.
But when the game's not, when we can't just do plan A and score goals at will, what are you going to do? What's your plan B? How are we going to like shut up shop to make sure the teams don't get in? And he hasn't really shown that he can do that yet because it's always one way of playing, one way of playing. We haven't shown that we can like, just absorb pressure, like be more compact and take away the spaces. And that's today what cost us as far as I'm concerned.
But even that today, right? I think a more mature teams even just keeps the ball better. You know what I mean? Even if you're not being compact, absorbing pressure,
Yeah, but
I
like
think.
look at it was a single pivot the entire game. Like
Yeah, I
Caicedo had
understand that.
so much ground to cover today. Like, and we're asking him to do that, win the ball back, get us moving. Like we just played. We could have at least, even if you're not going to change the shape 100%, at least drop back Enzo to
Yeah,
help
yeah,
build
yeah,
the attacks. At least that. At least
yeah,
that he
yeah.
didn't do that
Yeah,
either.
I know. It's like he didn't. He doesn't check. Look at the Fulham game, guys. The Fulham game is literally a prime example. If you want to use a case study, you look at the Fulham game and it's everything you need to know. The game, minute by minute by minute, was getting worse and worse and worse and worse. Then we concede again, and the game's done.
But
And,
Ches, this
and
is
as Chelsea fans, if we were all in the room watching the game, we're looking at each other like, what? What? Did we just lose that?
but Ches, yeah. This is what I was talking about with I think one area we didn't plan well was the midfield. Like, all right, granted KDH, but that was a bad buy. Um, like even if you start with an Enzo Caicedo pivot today, right? At like 60th, 70th minute, you bring down Alavia to control the game and not making sure you get run through in the midfield or the transition. I'm thinking today, if Lavia was there on that, if Sanchez passes it to Lavia instead of Palmer in that position, I think he's turning and he's facilitating that pass.
Oh
That
no,
Palmer,
no, but it's jarring me because even someone said to me to bounce off your point, Javi, yeah. They said, "What do you think about Wesley Fofana?" And they were like, "Oh, do you want? What are you gonna do about him?" And I was like, "Yeah, get rid of him." I'm actually getting very bored because we progressed as a club from last season. I have to start being more critical on the injuries. When it happened last year, it's like a cluster,
yeah,
avalanche. Everything's going wrong. And avalanche. I mean, I was before. God, the hope no one has. And you're watching the snow. You're like, you concede. It's like, yeah. Last season we had 5 to 10 injuries. Another person get injured. Do you get more angry? No. Diminishing returns. This time round, I'm in a top 4 race, was in a title race. I have to be more clinical. I have to be more deceptive, a bit more snide with my opinions because I can't be having man like Lavia not there because it's actually affecting us. Man like Fafana not being there is affecting us. It's having a big impact because you're seeing basically squad players performing like having to play week in, week out. And then the first team players you like are getting so tired because the manager doesn't trust the rest of the squad. You
That's
don't
the
trust the
fact.
rest of the squad.
That's a fact. And yeah, I agree with the whole, we're not as deep as we'd like to think because our depth is being tested so many times. And then the areas where we don't have the depth, like I'm talking about defense and midfield, we're just struggling right now. I agree. Like, but even to that point though, like I still think that he could just like he could still. I mean, it's not the greatest solution. I'm not going to tell him to just do it just for the sake of it, but he did play
Go
Vega
on.
in the midfield at one point, right?
I know, yeah. To shore it
He
up, I
did
know
play
what you
him.
mean.
To just to put 3 people in there.
But we don't see him doing that because he hasn't shown any signs he's going to do that.
No, but he's done it before, though. That's what I'm saying.
No, he's done it before, and he hasn't done it since that game. I think it
No, I
was.
agree, but like at
What
least
game
we're.
was it?
I'm just saying, like it's something that you could go back to because you've already done it before. It's already proven. Okay, we didn't get the result against what was it? When did we do it against?
I think
Was
we
it
lost
Bournemouth?
that game.
I think it was Bournemouth. I don't think we lost. I
Oh
think we
yeah,
might
it
have
was
drew.
almost first half, and it didn't work. That's the one.
Yeah, something like that. But anyhow, like it's just what are your solutions to the situation? Like if you can clearly see that these guys are fatigued and you have men on the bench that haven't played for months, something has to give there. Either you're playing the lower quality players, or you're gonna run the players that you prefer into the ground.
The
And
joke.
either way, it's not
It's
going to produce the
lose-lose.
results you want.
Yeah, no, because I agree. I think that's my one gripe from Maresca. Even though I feel like the players should have won that game in the first half, it's up to I feel like the manager, his in-game management lately, because I started to see like who was turning like Enzo in the midfield, and then they started to run like Casado, and it was just like a one-man midfield. You know what I mean? So like recognizing situations like that where we're starting to like lose ground, even even there was some plays where I think their crossfield switches were killing us. Like, you know what I mean? Like they were getting it, pinging it out to the right. Like that end game management of nullifying, of seeing where the game is, like kind of getting away before it happens. Because we always, to
Yeah, and
me, I feel like we always need another goal because we always concede. We always like
that's
fall
that's
off
the
in
thing.
concentration.
Yeah, that's why probably I came across very harsh on Jackson's, because I know that when we're in games now, boys, it's so sad. I'll be sitting here, we'll score, and I'll be like, well, we're not going to win this game. If we don't score another goal. It's literally a fact. I think we haven't. I don't even. When was the last time we won a game with a clean sheet? I think Aston Villa at home, and
Yeah.
even then, they had loads of chances to score. It wasn't like they had no chances. We had to block it off the line with the one-on-one with Sanchez with Watkins. They were in poor form when they came to that game, so you could probably write that game off as it is, as an anomaly. We just always concede. So when you only score one goal, and I went out, I couldn't watch the whole game. And I saw it was 1-0, 80th minute, boys. And I went on my phone and I saw Jem and you lot saying, effing, why are you not making the sub? I was like, yeah, we drew. It's so sad. It's very sad. And the thing is, Couch, that's why I like him, and that's why we always chat, because we differ in terms of temperament, in terms of how we view it. But I'm a lot more pessimistic than you, man. As you know, when I'm saying the chat was going to
Oh,
lose.
that much is for sure. What do you mean?
Yeah,
That much is for
Couch,
sure.
the thing is, yeah, I've been right with my pessimism. Literally, I don't want to say I told you, man. So, but literally
But
since
that's
Champions
not
League,
something. But
this is
that's
why I'm
not something you
negative, because
want
we
though.
never win
That's not what.
anything.
But that's not what you want though. You don't want to be right in these situations though. That's what I'm saying. Like
I
this is
know,
not
but
something.
I
This is
have
not
to be
something to
real
hang
with
your
it.
hat on.
No, I'm not
You feel
proud
me?
to say, yeah, I was right. We're crap. We're not crap. But you know my point. Like, I'm not happy
Yeah.
to say it. But I'm just saying, like, it's a shame that like I couldn't be proven wrong. That's the thing. Like, I wanted to say, Couch, I wanted to come in beginning of January and say, wow, we didn't win every game, but we were unbeaten. We didn't win every game, but we still picked up 5 wins out of 7. We're looking at it going, raw, like we played 10 games, you won like 4 or 5. Like, I don't know, man. It's a shame, because
Yeah.
I
I
could
don't
see
think
it.
that. I don't think that
I
our
could
time.
go. I'm gonna make a statement with Academy to Goshen, yeah. But
Yeah.
I'm gonna say I'm fearful of top 4.
You're not
What do you
safe with
think,
top four.
Xavi and Couch? What do you think? Am I
What
being
did you say?
reactionary?
I missed what you said. Sorry.
I'm fearful for top 4.
Yeah, there's reason to be. Like everything is hanging on a knife's edge right now. Whether you think we're challenging for the title or challenging just for top four, it's on a knife's edge. And this is the Premier League. It's never going to be easy. I'm my only concern for this squad right now is health. If we get healthy and we can find like a run of health like we had, the beginning part of this year and whatnot when we were winning games comfortably, then I have no worry. But that is again something that I can't really bank on. Like we haven't been healthy, through Christmas for years now, it feels like. So, we'll have to wait and see what happens. But if we get any sort of health at this point in time, I have no worry that we'll finish in the top four. That's how I see it.
So
Jet
you're
like
saying the players come back, like Lavia's, James can stay a bit fit. Xavi, you can talk after me, by the way. They quick answer. You think that will be okay? You think it's a personnel thing?
Yeah, I think it's a personnel thing. I think that we have we have enough players that can see out results for us. I think that we've shown enough that we can be in matches, win matches. We don't lose a lot of matches either, just outright lose. So yeah, I don't think that there's any teams right now in the top four right now that are playing flawless football. Liverpool's probably the closest, obviously, but given you know given what I've seen so far, everyone's going to drop points. I don't think that the title's going to be won on like 90 some odd points, like 95, 96 points. It's probably going to be somewhere closer to like low 90 or like late 80s. So, that's an attainable number. If we find a run of health, where we can be healthy for about, you know, 8, 9 games, even that, if we get that, we'll be all right.
Yeah, I was about to say I think the Bournemouth game will tell me a lot because we don't play until next week Tuesday, and we have FA Cup. I'm assuming we what's Morecambe? What's that team name? Morecambe? I don't know what the hell the team is, but we can rest players. You know what I mean? And give Caicedo, give our key players that rest. So then I'm hoping Lavia is back by then, man. Cause goddamn. And then Reece James, maybe give Reece James like a little run in that game or not, but we get them back and Bournemouth refreshed, fit, healthy with a rest.
Mm, yeah.
A long week on the training ground. We're gonna have like a week on a week and a couple days on the training ground before that game to address some stuff. You know what I mean? Go over some stuff. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think that those next two games of Bournemouth and Wolves will tell me a lot. We're gonna like fade away, or this is just a
Oh,
blip
wait,
because
are
this
they both
blip
at
was
home?
yeah, they're both at home, but this blip
Oh,
was coming.
no, no,
Well,
no, 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 no. Hey, boys, this is why I have a question. Big up Matt for Super Chat. I'm gonna read out in 1 minute, yeah? Let me respond to that. Let me respond to this, and then I'll put a Super Chat.
Never,
I
never, never. This never.
this Super Chat, yeah? Like, what do you think, boys?
Hell no.
So you're saying you'd rather Arsenal not win it?
I would never want Arsenal to win. Never. So, Arsenal not win. I can't have them winning the CL.
Fairs. Straight to the point. That's funny. Man said, "Yep, nah. I'd rather be out of Champions League and they don't win it." That's funny because everyone's different. Some people actually wouldn't mind if we got Champions League, then winning the Champions League. But that's really kind of mad, to be fair. Because you imagine the gas they would give. But anyway, to respond to your point, I feel like our players being not fit. Yeah, Xavi's been the issue for so long. It feels like since the Champions League win, we never have a fit team for even like 5 games. We can't even have 5 games where we just have a solid 11. In it, chat. 5 games with Chelsea with a solid 11 and we're just consistent. We just keep getting injuries and injuries and injuries. It's such a shame. Even new players, Balak and Cuckoo, get injuries. Neto, Manueke's even been out for a little bit. We just can't get a consistent run. I guess it's Premier League tax, you could say, or poor scouting. I don't really care. It's a bit of a shame, but the blip was coming is a bit I want to speak on. I agree with you. Like, there was no way we were going to go through the season with only like 3 losses. That's mad. But at the same time, we need to be doing better than 2 losses and 2 draws in 4 games. Like, at least today could have been a win, and it wouldn't have been as bad. But no, we drew another game. You win today,
But
you're one
this
point
is
behind
why it's
Arsenal.
bad.
We mean for Forest. Like, I get the blip, but I feel like the things that's happening a bit more than a blip is concerned because the manager making poor subs, the team having loads of fatigue, the squad not being trusted, i.e. Slash not good enough, players getting injured a lot. It's more than just 4 games. That's an issue you could see for the rest of the season. So, Travis, what are you saying? Like, do you not think this could be a longer term thing? But imagine, yeah, we don't beat Wolves up and Bournemouth at home.
All right, then that's when you get concerned, I think, because we've had more than ample time to address the situations that's going on. That is all right. That is concerning because you don't want that run to continue. And once these players lose confidence and they start to get in, that rut that you kind of sometimes difficult to get out of. But I think if you look at our past 3 games, for example, granted we should do better. I'm not taking accountability off of it, but some poor decision making like Fulham, I think we could see that. out a 1-1 draw or anything like even I think we even had chances in the end. Ipswich, that was just like an anomaly game, and I think though these run of games makes this draw even worse because you're not winning those previous games
Mhm.
and you just want that win so bad. 3 points was important here, but I don't think it's the end of the world yet. But like you
Yeah,
saying, if
it's
we
on the
don't,
end. It's on the end. Yeah.
yeah, if you don't manage to pick up points, Bournemouth and Wolves, then I'll get
No,
concerned
no, no,
because
bro. Then, like, it's more than just. That's more than alarm
yeah,
bells. That's like crisis. That's
yeah, yeah,
crisis.
yeah. So I think
Yo,
So,
fellas, I,
too
I
much
gotta I gotta bounce, man. But it was good
love,
chat.
Cash. We're gonna end up anyway. Love for jumping on. You
Yeah,
want to say anything
yeah,
else?
yeah.
all right, big up.
Every time, easy.
Love. I was gonna give what you say anything else, please go bounce. But this you're gonna leave in 5 minutes anyway. Big up Matt for the super chat. Second best league position at this stage in 6 years. Huh? Oh, Shabby, the standards have dropped.
Yeah, but Ches,
Oh
I
my
feel like
days! I didn't read this. I didn't deep the super chat, so I actually read it out. That's so
yeah.
poor. What are you saying, Shabby?
1 second, Ches. I'll be right back.
Nora's. Oh, Matt. Are you still here, Matt? Are you still here? What the heck? This isn't good. Chat. This is not a good thing. Look at what you just. Look at what I'm reading. The second best league position at the stage in 6 years. So you're telling me in 6 years our best position is fourth, hanging on by a thread. In 6 years. Nah, love. Hey, Matt, love for the super chat, by the way. Love for that. But that's the last 2 years we were 10th and 8th. Oh my days.
All right,
The
I'm back.
standards
Yo,
have
Ches,
dropped.
I
Shavi.
don't think I think people are forgetting like we had a takeover, and even under Roman, bro. Like, all right, think about the Tuchel season, right? When we were like third at December. No, we were top of the league, and we had James and
Lukaku.
Chilwell
Oh,
go
yeah,
down,
yeah, yeah.
and then we plummeted. Like our squad planning has been horrible. When is the last time we had a good transfer window? Like 2014-15 with Mourinho. It Costa, or was that 15-16 with Costa,
Yeah,
Fabregas.
yeah, yeah. I think I was
We
15.
haven't had a proper squad planning. So I think these owners and squad uh, sporting directors made a lot of mistakes, yes, but they're literally like trying to start from the ground with these young players. I think we fail to realize that what we haven't won a league since Conte. Um, we haven't been competing in and out of the top four with Tuchel. We I remember we won the Champions League and all we did was bring in a striker when we had Conte and Jorginho and we had aging legs and we needed to revamp the squad. Um, Poor transfer windows after that. The takeover, basically, it's been yeah. So I
Yeah,
and
no, 100%,
and
100%.
people
Yeah.
need to stop asking. We need to stop asking. We're not gonna get that um clinical finished product. Isn't like of course I want not senior citizens, but think of Colwell, right? Colwell's not a bad player, but the fact is that you have Colwell with another inexperienced player. You had a
That's
Colwell
true.
like a Thiago Silva in like a 28, 30-year-old Silva or a 27-year-old Silva or someone experienced, you know what I mean? And we had a keeper that was more experienced, and then we had a striker, but that's not the route we're going in, and I've accepted that. They're literally buying potential, and they want this team to grow into like a young, hungry side. Like
Yeah,
Jackson, this is what
they
his
want to
third
have
professional season.
the next dynasty. Yeah.
Yeah, Palmer, this is what his third professional season. Caicedo's a little bit more experienced, but he's still young. Reece James has barely played. Colwell, this is like what his third, fourth professional season at the top flight. Enzo Maresca, young. Sanchez is just shit. He's old and shit. And it's crazy because you expect him. Nico. The thing about, I think, to me, We just need the striker position that you're talking about. We need, like, you see how Delap was causing us mayhem and can shoot
Yeah, 100.
and can be a nuisance in the box. We just need that profile when Jackson is off form. We need someone to step in. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
When,
that's
like,
that's
because Neto, if you
really
look at him, yeah, Neto, if you look at him, he's a more like crosser into, like, you need someone to like make those runs across the 6 yard box, attack the near
mm,
post,
mm.
be a menace in the box, push them back. Because another thing that I want to mention, what teams are simply doing to us now is they're packing the middle and forcing us to go out wide.
Mhm.
So it's leaving us to a lot of crosses, and we're recycling the ball, because I think Maresca thing is all about being patient and looking for an opening, and all teams are sitting deep and saying, "Come break us down," pushing us out wide, and our wingers have been ineffective. And Jackson does better when there's space in behind. He's not someone who does well when the box is crowded. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So having that
yeah.
different,
Literally, I was gonna say, even the football we're playing was nice today. The first half, we're playing some good football. It was nice,
yeah,
but when you're not clinical, like you said, you need different profile. And yeah, like literally in your little segment there, you mentioned like 3, 4, 5 things that are very important. It's funny because like there's actually a lot to improve on. And I guess what we're saying is, yeah, the improvement is to win the league, innit? And to solidify top four, which is
yeah,
a good.
yeah, yeah,
I mean that so to be a bit more positive to end the stream now, that what shall I be saying is towards us moving towards winning the league, not getting back into top four, because I still think if we're being positive, we're still a top four team. We need to make sure we stay
yeah,
here and keep winning our
yeah,
games, but
yeah,
move to our next level and to be solid in top three and be competitive. We need to make sure we've got another striker minimum, probably another 2 midfielders, or recall one of the ones we got on loan, another centre back minimum who can come in for Fana, because I think Fana should go,
yeah,
a goalkeeper. And if we got those four spine, I know they're not going to be like you said. They're not going to be older players. Maybe you can get a Rocarez or Oshiman who are a bit more experienced. But if you can get two players of good of age and one youngster, or two youngsters, one good of age, Chelsea go far next season.
yeah.
But
I feel like it's so obvious that we're 3 to 4 quality signings away um from being title contenders. If you really look at Liverpool, right? Look at their squad, and you look at, they have 4 world class players on their side. That's in crucial. They don't even have like a top striker like that. Let me not even say that. They have the GK, Allison, and they have a backup who's like has done very well. They have, even though Kanate went down injured, right? They still have their mainstay, a boss, CB and Van Dyke, right? They have Trent, Salah, and I don't know if you want to call him McAllister world class, but he's a top player. You know what I mean? So
mhm.
they have 4 guys that are like game changers. I feel like we don't have that yet. You know what I mean? They're working towards that. Like,
Mm.
imagine like 3 years down, 3-2, a Colwell, where it's gonna be a Palmer, a more polished, improved Jackson. You know what I mean? Like, even games when we're not playing as well, they just create a moment, because there's many of times where I've seen Liverpool not play as well, but they win it because like Salah's doing a madness or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but it's so obvious that we just need those 3 top signings. But we just see where it goes from here and what the director's gonna do, because they obviously have a plan, and they're not breaking it all.
Yeah, man, guys, we've got to see. Laugh at everyone who joined in the stream. It's been fun. Therapy Chelsea session for every single one of you tuned in. Love everybody who tuned in. Really random time to stream as well. Um, So yeah, love everyone joining, man. We'll be back tomorrow for sure. I know I said earlier I might be, but I'm gonna be back tomorrow. I'll try and do a big panel as well. We'll see how all the games go. But yeah, therapy was good today. It's a very calm stream. Do you know what I mean? You just subscribed. Big up, Blue Net. Big up. You must see me on the timelines. That's actually quite sick how we reached out to you. Big up every single new subscriber. We'll be back tomorrow. Different kind of stream. We'll see you then. Love Show for jumping on. Love Catch jumping on. See you all again soon. Have a good evening. God bless.